The evolution of the T-bar. The new multi-use T-bar from Career Extenders. In 2013, I added a pistol grip handle to this T-bar. So I'm using the T-bar tool, and I'm using this flat edge, and going right along that root of the scapula. And again, if it was a big person and there was a very precise trigger point, I could use that part of the T-bar and go right in, but no need for that on Kate. Now this part of this pointed area on the tool, I can slip right up against her root of the scapula. There's a little area deep underneath there where trigger points will hide and constantly reactivate. If you find something very precise, you can use the scraper part of the precious to get in there even more effectively. That will fit right in between the ribs beautifully. So you can palpate which direction they go, and there you can see I'm right in there, but I will of course have both of my hands on her body, so I have complete control of where that tip goes.
You can use this on the side of the foot as well. You can use this all over this calcaneus. Now when we go over here along this side, you can see in the picture-in-picture there's a muscle that runs right along there. She's very tender right in that spot.
A man, and this was really hard. I have used occasionally that flat area and go through it. Or if your hands are really sore, you can do this. Does that feel fine? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. This isn't in any way offensive or brutal.
And any trigger points that we find, I could even take this. For example, it's just perfect for getting into that piriformis. Very comfortable for your hand. Your fingers are on vacation. I could be using the thumb tool that slips over my thumb for this, but I find that these tools that you're seeing me use, I use far more than I use the thumb tools. When I first invented the thumb tools, I used them to do everything that my thumbs did before. Now I found that I find these so much more convenient that there are some select places where I use the thumb tools, but very often I use these T-bars and L-bars far more. Now you could get over into the tensor fasciae lata using this tool, but the best way of getting it, if it's something that you really need to get into, is with the best friend tool.
In there, obviously if you can reach back and palpate her spine, and the longer that I'm here, the more she's relaxing and the more she's letting me go in. So just let those rectus abdominis relax and let me go back. So let's say that she was a big, heavy man that had very strong muscles and bodybuilder. I may need to use the T-bar to assist to get back to that psoas muscle. So I would just keep my hand there as well and press back so it's a hip flexor. You could bring this knee up, hold it underneath your shoulder, and that actually allowed me to get in there much nicer. Now this muscle, as you're probably aware, if it has a trigger point in it, typically refers pain to the back. Again, obviously, if you can reach back and touch the front of their spine, you will never ever use a tool here. However, it can be very helpful for those who have very tight abdomens and very difficult to access psoas muscles. I use the notch and the pistol grip on this tool to slide superior and inferior on the cervical transverse processes when the person is laying face up. As you can probably see, the precious tool has a much more pointy area on the flat area, and the T-bar has a much wider flat area. Be sure and watch the video on the L-bars so you see how I use them differently than I use the multi-use T-bar. Thank you for visiting the Career Extenders website.